Welcome, everyone. Today, I'm not just sharing a story. I want to open my heart. This is not just motivation. This is real truth. The truth people often hide behind smiles, support, and friendships. The truth is simple. No one is your real friend until you win. Some may cheer for a while. They might say encouraging words. But when challenges grow, when dreams get bigger, they quietly drift away. They stop calling. They stop replying. They stop asking how you are. You become just a dreamer, a struggler, someone invisible to them. What hurts most is you thought they were true friends. You trusted them. You helped them when they were down. You believed they would support you. Life teaches a lesson. The only person who truly stays with you during struggles is you. This is not a story from a book. This is my life. This is what I lived, survived, and grew stronger through. If you feel alone now, if no one seems to care, don't skip this story. I'll show you how I turned silence into strength, how I turned pain into power, how I proved you don't need 100 friends to succeed. You just need one person who believes in you. That person is yourself. Let's go back to the beginning. I'll show you what walking alone until you win really means. This story will also help your English. You'll learn real words, real emotions, and expressions used in life. If you want more stories that teach English through motivation, subscribe. Your mindset, English, and life will grow. Chapter 1. Nobody believed the boy in the room. My name is Aaron. I was born in a small town where dreams were too big. Success seemed like something for others, not for people like us. My father was a mechanic. My mother stayed home. We had enough to survive, yet I always felt I was meant for more, something bigger that could change my life and maybe the world. I was 18 when I told my friends at the bus stop, one day, I'll be successful. I'll make money online. I'll travel the world. They laughed. One said, Aaron, your phone is broken, your shoes have holes, and you're dreaming of millions. Another said, focus on a real job. Dreams don't feed your stomach. Oh, I smiled, but inside I felt broken. These were my friends, people I shared lunch with, helped with homework, defended from bullies. Yet they couldn't see my potential. They only saw the struggling version of me, ordinary, broke, imperfect English, riding the bus. Even family doubted me. My uncle said, people like us don't do this. Study, get a job, be normal. My father said, stop wasting time. These ideas aren't for people like us. I felt crushed, invisible, like my dreams were too big. That night, I realized something important. People don't hate you. They only believe in results, not effort, not hard work, not you. Until you prove them wrong. I sat in my small room. No AC, just a noisy fan. A small table, broken chair, cracked phone. I said to myself, this is where my journey begins. Not on a stage, not in a fancy office, but here, from this room. I made a quiet, powerful decision. If no one supports me, I will. If no one claps for me, I will. If no one believes, I will become the reason they do. From that moment, everything changed inside. Outside, I was still broke, still alone, still ignored. Inside, a fire started. A silent war began. Old me, weak and rejected, versus new me, ready to fight, rise, and win. That was the start of walking alone. I learned the truth. No one is your friend until you win. Walk alone long enough, and you will win. Chapter 2. The silent years. After that night, something changed inside me. Outside, nothing. Same room, same phone, same broken chair. Inside me, a voice was born. A decision, a promise to myself. I didn't tell anyone, not even on social media. I learned people don't listen to plans. They react to results. So I stayed silent but moved forward. I started waking up at 5:00 a.m. every day. Not because of motivation or routines from books, but because I had to. My house was small. By morning, it became noisy. I needed silence to focus. I needed 2 hours when everyone else was asleep. I made tea quietly, sat on the floor with my second-hand notebook, and began learning. I searched how to make money online. I typed how to improve English at home. I wrote everything I found word by word. We didn't have internet at home. I used a friend's hotspot once a week to download free PDFs and videos. I didn't have a laptop, so I used my old phone. It had a black line across the screen, but it worked. Some days my phone shut off from low battery. Electricity wasn't 24/7. I lit a candle and read old notes. I didn't understand everything. Some words were hard, but I wrote them down and practiced in front of the mirror. That mirror became my first friend. I would say, David, you will speak English fluently. You will start a business. You will earn in dollars. You will succeed. Sometimes I cried, not from weakness, but because I was the only believer. I slowly distanced myself. I skipped useless birthday parties. I ignored late-night texts. I avoided time wasters. People noticed. They said, "Bro, you've changed." Some laughed, some got angry, some stopped talking. I didn't reply. I was busy changing my life. When you grow quietly, people may see it as rudeness. But you're just protecting your energy. 2 jobs, 1 dream, 0 support. I needed money to survive and invest in my dream. I took 2 small part-time jobs. One at a tea shop. I cleaned tables and washed cups. The second at a grocery store. I lifted boxes and stocked shelves. My hands smelled of onions and detergent. My back hurt. My eyes burned. But I came home and opened my notebook. My dream was still alive. While others watched Netflix, I watched tutorials. While they posted selfies, I practiced English pronunciation. While they slept at midnight, I read about email marketing. I wasn't better, just desperate. Not desperate for attention, but desperate for freedom. Desperate to build a life with respect. I became my own teacher. I watched free YouTube videos on English grammar. I read beginner books aloud. I paused videos, repeated words slowly, copied accents. One word, one line, one paragraph at a time. I wrote small blog posts, even if no one read them. I practiced writing and thinking in English. My social media captions switched to English. People laughed, sent screenshots of my grammar mistakes. Some said, stop showing off. But I didn't stop. Mistakes meant I was trying. Mistakes would become my power if I kept going. About 6 months in, I thought of quitting the dream. Nothing was working. No support, no money, no progress. One night, I ate dry bread alone. My stomach was full, but my heart felt empty. I had no one to say, "You're doing great. Don't give up." I looked at the ceiling and asked, "Why is it so hard?" Silence answered. Only the fan spun slowly. In that silence, I realized nobody will help me. Nobody has to understand. This is my journey. If I want results, I must do the work, even when no one is watching. I wrote one sentence on paper. I will win even if it takes 10 years. I taped it to my wall. That line became my religion. When tired, jealous, or discouraged, I read it. I repeated it. I stopped seeking fast results. I fell in love with the process. I studied and practiced every day. I saved every extra dollar. I upgraded my internet. I bought a cheap microphone for voiceovers. I learned digital content creation, all from that small room, all from that cracked phone. The world laughed, slept, or ignored me. I kept going. 2 years in, my English improved. I learned new skills. I started earning online, maybe $200 a month. Still, nobody clapped. Nobody asked, "How did you do it?" I didn't care. Deep inside, I knew I was becoming someone the world would respect. The only question, how long can I walk alone? The answer, as long as it takes. After 2 years of silent effort, something strange happened. I was no longer the same boy who started this journey. My English had improved. My thinking was sharper. My discipline was stronger. But from the outside, my life still looked the same. And that was the trickiest phase. Most people quit here, not at the start, not when things are obviously bad. But after working long and seeing little to show, people give up. I was tired, not physically, but mentally. Every morning I asked myself, am I moving forward or just fooling myself? One day I decided to stop only learning and start doing. I told myself, enough preparation, now it's time to act. I chose a simple path, freelancing. I had learned basic skills online, writing, digital marketing, simple design. I was an expert, but I was ready to work hard. I created my first freelancing profile, uploaded a photo, wrote a small description in simple English. I pressed publish with shaking hands. I sat staring at the screen thinking, this is the start of my new life. Reality hit fast. Day 1, no message. Day 2, no message. Week 1, nothing. I applied for jobs every night after work, wrote proposals carefully, rewrote them again and again, checked my grammar, tried to sound confident. Nothing happened. Then came rejections. Not selected. Client chose someone else. Hundreds of applications, zero results. Doubt crept in. Maybe my English isn't good enough. Maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe they were right about me. Old voices returned. The ones who laughed at my dreams. Their voices were louder now, because I had tried and failed. There's a pain few talk about. It's not poverty. Not insults. It's trying your best and still being ignored. I would sit at night, phone in hand, refreshing email, silence everywhere. I stopped using motivational quotes to cheer myself. I stopped feeling excited. I was just empty. Yet, I woke up the next day, went to work, came home, applied again. Not because I felt strong, but because I had no other choice. Going back to my old life scared me more than failing again. Around me, people moved forward. Friends got jobs, promotions, good money. They posted new phones, bikes, restaurants, trips. I was happy for them. But inside, something ached. I was working hard, doing everything right, yet I was stuck. This is where jealousy or bitterness can creep in. I felt it, but I chose not to give in. One night, I thought deeply. If I turn bitter, I lose. If I hate others, I lose. If I quit, I lose. I decided to stop measuring life by results. I chose to measure by effort. Every day, one question. Did I give my full effort today? Not. Did I make money? Not. Did someone praise me? Just effort. Studied 1 hour? Win. Win. Applied for 10 jobs? Win. Practiced English 30 minutes? Win. Small, invisible wins. Wins nobody saw, but that changed me. I stopped pretending to be successful. No motivational posts. No explaining my struggles. I focused on skill, improved writing, learned clear communication, studied why some succeed online and others don't, learned to solve problems, not just talk about them. This part was boring, very boring. No excitement, no drama, just repetition. But repetition builds power. One night, after another rejection, I lay on the floor staring at the ceiling. For the first time, I whispered, maybe this is not for me. That thought scared me. Accepting it ends the journey. I stayed quiet, then remembered my past. Remembered the people who laughed at me at the bus stop. Their faces, voices, and confidence I would fail. Suddenly, something inside me woke up. I sat up and said quietly, I didn't come this far to stop here. No anger, no shouting, just calm decision. Looking back, I understand this phase clearly. It wasn't meant to give money. It was meant to give patience, not fame, strength, not to prove to others, but to myself. To keep going without rewards, to stay disciplined without applause, to trust myself even when results were missing. This phase removed my ego, my need for validation, my dependence on people. It prepared me for what was next. By the end, nothing dramatic had changed. Still not rich, famous, or respected. But I was different. Confidence no longer depended on others. Happiness no longer depended on results. Focus no longer depended on motivation. I had become consistent, and consistency is powerful. Success is only a matter of time once you are consistent. I didn't know it yet, but my first breakthrough was very close. The world was still not watching. Chapter 4. The door opened quietly. I remember the day it happened, the day something finally shifted. No bang, no dramatic music, no flashing lights, no big message saying, "Congratulations, David. You made it." It came quietly, softly, unexpectedly. That morning, I was on the edge of my bed, tired, still applying for jobs one by one. I had been doing the same work for months without much change. Then one day I got a simple message on my freelancing profile. It said, "Hi, Aaron. I liked your writing sample. Are you available for a small blog project?" Just one sentence, just one client, just one project. To me, I stared at that message for nearly 5 minutes, not because it was long, but because it felt real. After so many rejections and quiet months, someone finally said, yes. I didn't scream or celebrate. I just took a deep breath and reminded myself to stay professional. I wrote back calmly, hello, thank you for reaching out. Yes, I'm available. Please share the details. My hands shook as I typed. This was more than a job. It was my first test. The project was simple, one blog of 500 words. Topic: How to stay focused in the digital age. It felt like the most important piece of writing in the world. I researched for hours and wrote multiple drafts. I checked every line for grammar, spelling, and flow. I even read it out loud 10 times to hear how it sounded. When I submitted it, I closed my eyes and whispered, please let this be good enough. I waited. 1 hour passed. Then 2. Still nothing. Finally, the reply came. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Aaron. This is great work. I'll send payment now. That one line brought tears to my eyes. It wasn't the money or praise. It was the meaning behind it. It meant I wasn't wasting my time. It meant my efforts mattered. A small payment, a huge step. The client paid me $10. Some would say it's nothing, but to me it was everything. It was proof that I could earn online. Proof someone believed in my work. Proof my months of learning and practicing were not wasted. I held that $10 like gold. It was the first drop of rain after a long drought. I wanted to tell someone, but I knew they wouldn't understand. To them, I was still just trying, still starting. Nobody saw the early mornings, the quiet tears, or the invisible effort. So I smiled quietly and wrote in my journal today, I made $10 online. The world didn't notice, but I did. That first job gave me confidence. Not loud confidence, but quiet, earned confidence. I no longer felt like an imposter. I felt like a real beginner, a worker, a doer. That momentum changed everything. I stopped chasing hundreds of clients and focused on building real relationships. I improved my profile and writing samples. I learned to write clear, professional proposals. I invested time, not money. I practiced English every night in front of the mirror with my notebook. I repeated words from videos because I knew global growth needed global language. Months later, the same client gave me more work and referred me to another. Slowly, my income grew, $50, then $100, then $300 per month. Small for some, but a breakthrough for me. I could pay for shoes and internet on my own for the first time in years. Still, nobody noticed or clapped, but I didn't need them to see. I was doing this to become unstoppable. Your first win won't change your life, but it will change your direction. Your first dollar won't make you rich, but it proves you're capable. Your first opportunity won't bring fame, but it gives strength. Your first success won't bring friends back, but it shows you never needed them. The same people who laughed at me became quiet. They didn't apologize. They just disappeared. Weeks turned into months, months into years. I kept going quietly, consistently, without shortcuts or applause. I built a steady online income, enough to pay bills, save, and feel proud. I still stayed invisible. No loud posts, no fake lifestyle, no showing off. Then something changed. A client I worked with for months sent a message. Aaron, I've seen your consistency and honesty. I want you to lead a writing team. $2,000 per month. Are you interested? I read the message 5 times. I remembered the boy who started this journey. The boy without internet laughed at by friends, crying in silence. The boy who made $10 and called it victory. Now, the same boy was offered a leadership role, not from luck or connections, but from discipline and invisible effort. I said yes. My life began to change. My work started getting noticed. Clients mentioned me in forums. People reached out on LinkedIn. The old voices returned. Hey, I heard you're doing great. Proud of you. They remembered me, not for friendship, but for what I became. For a moment, I felt a tinge of anger. I wanted to ask, where were you when I struggled? But I let it go. I focused on my growth, not their recognition. My first $10 taught me everything I needed. Quiet effort, consistent action, and self-belief lead to real results. The world may not notice immediately, but your work builds momentum, and momentum changes your life. Then I smiled because I finally understood something. They didn't hate me back then. They just didn't see me as someone worth believing in. And now that I had achieved results, they returned, not as friends, but as spectators. The world applauds the finished product, not the messy version or the one still building. I didn't respond with anger. I didn't argue. I didn't explain myself. I simply moved forward. I wasn't building my life to prove them wrong. I was building it to prove myself right. I bought a small apartment and furnished it with my own earnings. I sent money to my parents every month. I took my little brother on his first vacation. I became the first in my family to earn online. I was the first to earn in dollars, speak fluent English in a professional meeting, and create something from zero. I did it alone. No rich uncle, no lucky break, no magic moment. Only effort. Every single day for years. If you are listening now, remember this. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need one person, yourself. Yes, people may laugh. Yes, they may doubt you. Yes, they may disappear when you're at your lowest. Let them. Because when you win, they will return, not to help you, but to act like they always knew you'd make it. But you will know the truth. You will remember the nights you cried alone, the meals you skipped, the friends who left. You will remember the risks you took and the jobs you applied for with trembling hands. The voice inside you that said, keep going. You will smile, not because they finally believe in you, but because you never needed them to. No one is truly your friend until you win. But if you win, you won't need their friendship. Your success speaks louder than silence. So don't wait for support. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for someone to believe in you. Start now. Start in your room with what you have, who you are, even if you are a broken version of yourself. Start with doubt and fear. One day you will be the person they said could never make it. You will prove that silence is not weakness, it's focus. When you finally win, let the world hear nothing but the sound of your footsteps walking away from their doubts. Here are 13 lessons from my journey. 1. The world respects results, not dreams. People only notice when dreams turn into actions. Stop explaining your vision. Start building it. Real attention comes from achievement. 2. Silence is not weakness. It's focus. Work quietly while others are distracted. Real growth happens in still, unseen places. If you are silent, it means you are focusing on something powerful. 3. Rejection is not the end. It's a test. Keep applying, learning, and improving. Every no brings you closer to yes. 4. Your first win may be small, but it matters. It proves to yourself that you can succeed. 5. People often disappear when you need them most. Let it hurt, then let it teach you resilience. 6. You don't need motivation. You need a decision. Make a quiet, personal, unbreakable choice to win. Decisions create discipline. Discipline builds destiny. 7. Be your own teacher, friend, and supporter. Applaud yourself. Encourage yourself. Celebrate your progress. Train yourself. Teach yourself. Be the person you've been waiting for. Growth happens in invisible moments. The world only sees the final success. It never sees the early mornings, the broken phones, the tears, the small efforts. Don't chase visibility. Chase growth. Invisible progress is still progress. Discipline will take you where motivation cannot. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline is forever. Aaron didn't win because he felt excited every day. He won because he kept showing up, even when he felt empty. If you're tired, do it tired. If you're afraid, do it afraid. But do it. Your real power is in repetition. Aaron succeeded by repeating simple actions daily. Repeat, repeat, repeat. That is how you become unstoppable. The journey is the reward. Aaron wanted to win, but the true prize was the journey itself. He became patient, strong, fluent, skilled, and respected. Chase transformation, not just results. No money, no mentor, no perfect background. Aaron still made it. Why? Because he believed one thing: I'm enough. I will find a way. I will build my future with what I have. Perfect conditions aren't needed. You need belief, action, and time. Win for yourself, not to prove others wrong. Aaron didn't seek revenge. He didn't post about those who left him. He didn't argue or explain. He simply moved forward. Success is about proving to yourself that you were always right. You don't need the world to believe in you. You need one person to believe in you. That person is already inside you. Talk to them, train them, push them, and never stop. One day, when the world sees what you've become, you'll smile and say, I did it without you.